Hey, I'm Alex Wackle from Board Game Co. and welcome to the mostly first video being filmed in my new set. I actually filmed one other video so far. If you checked out this past week's To Back or Not to Back, that was filmed from my new computer over there in my new giant basement. I'm loving this basement, by the way. It's literally like twice the size of my old one, and my basement was trying to double as a studio, as my workspace, and also as my game collection and play area, and it did not succeed at any of those things. Well, it succeeded at some of those things inherently. I did film quite a lot of videos in that space over the past 5 years, or 4.5 years, or whatever we're up to now. But this over here is going to be my new set. Now, a few things to go over, a variety of things. First of all, I actually hope to have a few sets set up over here if things go as planned. I will obviously have my general computer videos. If you ever see me filming while staring at my screen, you'll usually have that, of course. Although you will have a different background, I do wonder how that will play out as far as how I plan on orienting the camera. Like, will you just see the actual studio? Because right now, the way it's set up right now, you would see the set with all the cameras and behind the scenes stuff in that thing. So unless I change, I'll figure it out. But we will have one studio setup, so to speak, by my computer when I'm filming videos looking at the screen, such as my To Back or Not to Back. We're going to have this, which will be my primary main studio space, although I have a lot of notes to go over shortly. And then we'll also hopefully, right over there, you can't see it right now, but right over there, I plan on having a little couch area. This basement is large, by the way. A little couch area, plus a projector setup. Now, the projector's not for you, that's for me, so I can watch fun videos and whatnot. But the couch part's relevant because I think if I do this right, I should be able to easily port over like the cameras and whatnot for couch videos, for something a little bit more homey or nice or feel good or whatnot, like I actually started with way back in the day. If you've been following this channel for a long time, you know that there used to be couch videos, and while it's going to be a different couch, I do hope to bring those back. So we'll see how that all goes. Now, over the next several weeks, and possibly months or even 6 months or who knows what, you'll see what I mean in a second, things will be changing in these videos, because a lot of this is going to be a work in progress. The practical reality is I film on average 15 videos every single week. 15 videos go up on the channel every single week, which means I have to film 15 videos every single week, but I actually have to film more than that because in general, life happens, travel happens, family vacations happen, I go to conventions, or possibly I move, which can take an entire week out of your schedule right there. And that means in general, I'd say on a typical week, I'm trying to film 22, 23 videos on average on the weeks that I'm here to make up for all the things that can go wrong in life. And maybe a little less than 23, maybe like 19 to 20 videos a week on average need to be filmed when I'm here and able to do things. Over the past 4 days now, I haven't filmed a single video. This is my first video. Well, again, I lied. I filmed that To Back or Not to Back. But for the most part, while I typically try to film 3 videos a day at least, because again, 3 times 7 is going to bring you to 21, and so on average, I'm trying to film 3 videos a day every single day. Over the past 4 days, this is my second video. I filmed To Back or Not to Back, and now I'm filming this over here, and that's put me behind. In fact, I keep a little calendar. There's a little behind the scenes stuff as far as how things operate, but I keep a little calendar as far as how many videos went up each week and how many videos I filmed each week, so I can keep track as to whether I'm gaining or losing videos every week. Over the past 4 or 5 weeks, I'm at currently 0 videos gained because while I gained some, I've lost all that progress over the past 4 days while I just desperately try to move an entire studio over so that I can get set up and start filming. And things have been rough. Which is why, well, there's no order to this video. This is madness. This video is madness. It's okay. I appreciate you being here along for the ride. But a few things to go over. First of all, my main goal was to go ahead and get me something filmable as soon as I possibly can, not worrying about how good that thing could be. Well, I'm lying a little bit. I want it to be at least semi-competent or whatnot, but I'm not worried about every single thing. I need to get to a point where I can actually just film a video in order to keep up. Now, I could just not film for a week, and that would solve one problem, but I also have so many games and everything, and honestly, I like what I do. I like the fact that I have consistently put out videos every single day for 4.5 years. There might be something unhealthy about it, but I do appreciate that commitment to just getting it done, and so I want to continue that, which means my first goal was getting something workable. So I can go ahead and continue to film videos and continue to do business as usual. Between family, between GameFound, between board games for fun, board games for work, all those things. There's a lot to juggle in a day, and moving into the mix is not easy. Which is why I do a few things to note. I welcome all your feedback as far as anything. Anything from the current setup. Is there an echo? How bad is the echo? Does it bother you? Because people watch these videos in different ways. Sometimes watch it on big screen TV, some on their computer, and some through headphones. And headphones can change everything, including in-ear and over-ear headphones can change how bad something is. So if something's bad, I want that feedback. In some cases, I might already know, like, I think the echo today is not as bad as the echo in the 2 back or not to back video, but there still is echo, and I can tell you that will get better because these walls are still a little emptier than I have planned for the studio setup, which means there will be more board games that will absorb more space, and there's things I can do on top of that to further minimize the echo. How's the lighting? Is it good, not good, too bright, too dark? All those kinds of things are things that, again, I already have my own opinions and ideas as far as things I want to continue to add. This right now is literally the, again, not bare minimum, but bare minimum-ish. I have some small backlights behind me. I have a front light, but I don't have any I don't have like a key light behind me, or not key light. I don't have a light thing behind my head like I usually do. I do plan on putting like LED stuff over here. Honestly, the shelves you see behind you are probably not going to be the shelves behind you in future videos. I just needed to get something up behind me so I'm not filming to a blank wall behind me. Again, you could. I just didn't want to. So a lot of things will be changing, but I welcome all feedback as things go on. This is where things are going to get hectic as well, because the nature of my videos is that I constantly film in order to stay ahead of the game, in order to not be stressed last minute, because again, even right now, technically I've lost a lot of time, but I still have a bunch of videos in the queue because I always try to stay ahead of the game in order so that it doesn't feel as stressful when you have a week that you're not able to film. And so that does mean that very often throughout this process of change in the studio, you'll be able to kind of timestamp for the future what has been done in this studio space, because I'll probably film like 5 videos this week with this set, and then by the time a week and a half from now, by the time these shelves behind you have changed, I like the, this is currently a 5x5 calyx. I like the 4x4 calyxes for my studio space because it gives room for a little nice layer of extra stuff on top over here. That top row, that 5th row, instead of just being board games, it could be like a different array of board games and gadgets and gizmos and gadgets. I said gadgets and gizmos and gadgets behind me. So you will see things as the studio consistently iterates. You will see videos that have been filmed at certain points as it's constantly changing. Now, at a certain point, that constant change and adjustment will slow down, but again, depending who you are, you might be someone who pops in for a video every 6 months and you won't really notice much of a difference. But those of you who do kind of watch a lot of the content, you'll notice that kind of shift from like one setup to the next, sprinkled in with little shots from previous setups as we continue to go through an iteration of trying to find the ideal studio space. Now, a few things to go over, just general things, and some of this might not be interesting to you, honestly, and that's okay, but I guess if things are changing a lot throughout videos, I like to have at least a video for the regulars, for those that care, for those that watch everything. I like you to know what's going on, versus those that pop in for, because I don't know, when I watch YouTube content, there's different channels I watch. There's people like Philip DeFranco, who I have watched every single video from Philip DeFranco, I think every single video, over the past, 12 years of my life, or more than that, 14 years by now. I have been a consistent regular viewer, and if he's not in his studio, I recognize that immediately. Dice Tower, I watch enough of their content that if they shifted studios, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? I can see the difference. But then there's a lot of other channels out there that I don't know or care about the difference. Oh, you're in a new spot? I don't even think or register that. And everyone will have different ways that they interact with their different channels that they get content from. If you're someone who watches my channel because you happen to see a review for a game you're interested in and that's the only time you pop in, you'll probably not really notice or care. But those of you who are probably watching this video already likely fall into a larger demographic of people who are watching what's going on. And so that's why I'm doing all this kind of like, behind the scenes stuff. Honestly, this would be a good member video. That's a good point, a good time to mention. I do have a Ko-Fi and a Patreon if you want to go ahead and support the channel over there. But this one is for the channel in general, because again, these are going to be channel-wide changes that are changing over time, and so a lot of things are changing. I'll mention as far as the game table. This over here is going to be my Uniquely Geek table. It's actually named the Radcliffe over here, and granted, the setup you're looking at, you might not be able to notice a significant difference because you're looking at just this angle over here, but I hope to do some sort of basement slash studio slash game area tour at some point, and when I do that, you'll have a general sense of what this table is. Maybe I'll take a Maybe I'll take snapshots of the various tables. But until now, for the past 3 years or so, I've been using the Dresden table by Bandpass Design, I believe it is. It's the Dresden game table from Bandpass Design. That link has been in the bottom of every single video that I've had that table in for a while now. For a while, because I've been using that table as my main studio space area. But now I'm actually using my Radcliffe table. Because my Radcliffe game table, which again, longer story, I'll get to the Radcliffe game table in a second. This is a table designed by Uniquely Geek. It's a table that I put together the specifications that I wanted myself. It was the first time they did a trestle table. Trestle's the legs underneath the table. And they actually asked me if I don't mind, they wanted to name it the Radcliffe table because the Radcliffe's a nice English name. It sounds very regal. And so if you do want to check out the Radcliffe table, I'll throw a link down below. That's probably going to be my ongoing game table. And the reason for that is because in this space it actually works. It's so long, it's going to double both as my studio space, and on the other side, the whole half the table that's over there, that can be my game table area, and the studio can be torn down when I really want to have a full-on game night with 10 people or who knows what. But that's going to be the new table over here. Now that does come with some changes. You might notice there's little edges over here where you can't really see things because I need to get a new table topper made for this to accommodate the wider space that a filming table has. So again, small changes, adjustments, and whatnot. Even right now, I have currently my top mounted camera over here is, well, this guy over here. You can't really see, but there's also, my hands are so white. I need to figure that out. I don't know why my hands are so white in the setup. I don't know. But either way, my current top camera used to be on an overhead bar. If you follow the channel enough, you've probably seen that in videos or behind the scenes content. And right now I'm currently on a tripod while I try to figure out the right optimal camera placement. And then at some point, when I'm happy with where the camera is, I probably will ceiling mount it for stability and frankly, less visual noise in this space because, well, it's a lot of noise and you can even see things like the shadow part. No, you can't. No, the shadow's actually gone. Never mind. There was a shadow there. It's gone. It's fixed now. But anyways, that's a few things going on. Also, by the way, speaking of Uniquely Geek, who makes this table over here, I should say, I believe they're looking to sell that business. So I believe they're looking to they're still making tables for right now. They are limiting production, but they are looking to eventually get out of this business. If you are someone who is in some way interested in that, I will include a link to their blog post down below, and you can try to get in contact with them if that might be relevant. I don't know enough details yet. I don't know if you need to know carpentry or who knows. I don't know. I'll include a link to the blog post down below. But that's kind of where things are right now. There's going to be a lot of things happening very quickly over here because even right now, to get caught up from the fact that the last 4 days I haven't been filming videos, and I'll shortly be going to IV Games to cover Brink, then Origins Game Fair is going to be after that, then there's going to be Dice Tower East, there's going to be Gen Con. There's going to be a packed next few months, which means I cannot afford to take a moment to rest and breathe. No. I should rest and breathe there. I cannot afford to take a moment to rest and breathe. Now, make no mistake, I say this on a regular basis. I push myself a lot. But I do so because I love what I do. I do so because I love the opportunity to, well, everything. To go to conventions, to go to studios, to go to IV studios or who knows what, to go to publisher trips or whatnot and check out games, to play all the games I can play, to film the videos. Even right now, what I'm doing right now, I find it cathartic. It's almost nice after 4 days of just moving boxes and boxes and boxes. I have so many games, this is a little obnoxious. I'll get back to that in a second. But after so much time doing stuff like that, it's nice to sit back down, look at the camera, talk to you, tell you what's going on, and kind of just get another video done. Another video in the queue, have a bit of a conversation, let you know just what to expect over the next few weeks. Because I'm sure I'll get comments on a lot of videos. Hey, what's up? New space, new this, new that. And this way I can just link to this video and be like, here you go. Here's a 20-minute long video that you didn't ask for to answer the fact that, yes, we're in a new studio and we're going to try to make it all work. There's going to be a studio tour at some point, but I need to get a whole lot more settled before that happens. Speaking of games, because I mentioned the games a second ago, I don't know exactly how many games I have, but I'm guesstimating around 700. Now, if you're like, hey, wait a second, I thought you always say you have 300 games in your collection. I do, but that's complicated. What I frequently said, and I don't know how many games I have, I'm guessing around 700, but what I frequently say is my personal collection is usually around 300 games. But what I don't count, and I've said this before, what I don't count is I usually have around 50 to 100 games of unplayed games that are just my own unplayed games. They're not review copies. They're just games I bought, Kickstarter, retail, who knows what, and they're waiting to be played. And I don't count those as my collection because I haven't played them yet. I haven't made a decision. And you might be like, that's cheating, Alex. And I'm like, I don't care. That's how I count my collection. Separately from that, I also have generally around 50 to 100 review copies from publishers at any given time. And again, those are unplayed games in circulation. So if I have my 300 games of mine or so, plus let's say 150 or so unplayed games games from review copies and personal copies, that brings me to around 450 games. I probably have around 50 plus games, 50 to 100 games, probably 50 plus games that are in my kids' collection. And I don't count those as my collection. If I have a copy of, I don't even know, what do I have? What's a kid's game I have? Rhino Hero. If I count Rhino Hero, I don't count Rhino Hero as a game that I own. I count it as my kid's game. Why? Because I wouldn't own it if not for my kids. So I just mentally have. And by the way, I track all my stuff in Notion. I track review copies, video dates. I track everything in Notion. Notion's a software that I generally recommend. I think it's excellent, very flexible, very accommodating, a little bit of a learning curve. But either way, in Notion, I track these things. So I have my collection, I have unplayed games, I have review copies, I have kids games, and then I also have games that are frequently just leaving at any given point. So that's currently brought me to 450, 500 or so, and then I have games leaving at any point, which I don't even know. Maybe I don't have 700. Maybe I only have like 600. That might work because I probably have around 100 games or so. At any given point, games that are leaving go onto shelves and they eventually get sold or whatnot, but I don't always have the time for it. And frankly, over the past month and a half, past 2 months or so, as I've been dealing with this move, I have been selling fewer and fewer games and they've been piling up. And that does mean that at some point, I might just do a video of all the games I'm selling. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a video of all the games I'm selling in here because honestly, it's a piled up set of games right now at this point that haven't spent way too long accumulating, and I probably should just do a video to get rid of them because I didn't get rid of them beforehand, I literally had to move an extra 100 or so games, which is a little crazy. But anyways, that's everything. That's all the stuff we got going on. I should give you a small teaser to the next thing I'm going to be filming today because I hope to be filming this if things go well. Not a review, just an unboxing. Just an unboxing because, well, yeah, just an unboxing. We'll talk about it later. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I appreciate you being here for the first video in the new set that will frequently and constantly be changing over the next several weeks. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.